Hello learners, welcome to this online session. Today we will be talking about food misinformation. This topic is part of the certificate program in food and nutrition, course 2, your food and its utilization, block 5, unit 17. I am Deeksha Kapoor from the discipline of nutritional sciences, Indira Gandhi National Open University. So learners, it must be evident to you by now that food forms a very essential part of our daily life. We spend considerable amount of time, income to select and purchase food. Besides our habits, food choices, you would have noticed, are also influenced by misconceptions. We are exposed to a variety of views about food and their nutritional contributions. Newspapers, magazines, books, through our conversation with friends, relatives, we get ideas, views about different foods. And our ideas then get modified with what we hear and see. So let us examine some of these notions we have or we see. The claims made in food advertisements, printed material. How true or false are these? And particularly, let us examine them in the light of the knowledge of nutrition we have now gained. Therefore, in this session, what are we going to focus on? We will look at some prevalent misconceptions about food. We will identify the misrepresentation of food products by manufacturers. We will see how we can create awareness regarding the fallacious claims of reducing diets and become a vigilant individual when it comes to food information. So let's get started. First, we will start with misconceptions about water. Well, we have learned that water is essential for life. You may recall studying about this important substance in our course 1. You will get a lot of advice about when to drink water, can you have water with your meals, or should you have it after 2 hours having a meal, and many such advice and notions people may have. But the fact remains that water is essential for life. You learned it is needed for digestion, for absorbing the food, for transporting the food. It helps in excretion of waste products and many functions you have already learned about. Therefore, any misconception about water needs to be addressed. The very first misconception people have is drinking water can help lose weight. What do you think? Well, water cannot wash away the fat from the cells. Any extra calories which we get from overeating get stored in the adipose tissue, and water cannot wash off the fat away from the cell. So if we drink water, plain water, instead of calorie rich soft drinks, we might cut down our calorie intake. So it is not the water, it is the soft drinks or the calorie rich drinks we may include, maybe adding on to the calories, the overall calories in the diet. The next notion people have, that restrict intake of water because water is fattening or it adds to the weight. Well, it is very clear that water does not provide any calories. Why? Because it does not contain carbohydrate, fat, proteins, the calorie providing nutrients. So it is a wrong claim to say that restrict intake of water because it is fattening. Then many a times water is restricted, the intake is restricted, or individuals may use diuretics in order to reduce weight. What are diuretics? These are the medicines that increase urine output. So, is this a right practice? Well, do not restrict water intake or use diuretics along with crash diets. People indulge in various kind of diets where they may take diuretics as well. For example, athletes, they resort to such diets in order to reduce weight when they go for their periodic weight checking. Now, this can be quite or can lead to ill health in case of athletes. So, this can cause dehydration, stress on the cardiovascular system. There can be kidney damage. Therefore, such practices are best avoided. Another claim regarding water is restrict water during diarrhea or vomiting in the vain hope of stopping it. Many mothers, particularly illiterate mothers, they believe that since there is lots of water from the body, they need to restrict the intake of water from the diet. This can be very detrimental. Water intake, rather in such conditions, is crucial to prevent dehydration, especially in children. It is very important to feed clean, boiled, cooled water. And in fact, with sugar, salt, lemon added to this water will help the individual rehydrate, or if there is a loss of body fluid, it can be replenished by giving water with added sugar, salt, or a drop of lemon or two into it. Therefore, these claims regarding water needs to be critically analyzed. Let us look at the fallacies about cereal and cereal products next. Well, there is a notion that starchy foods such as rice, wheat, bread are high in calories. Well, what does your knowledge tell you? Basic cereals, whether it is rice, wheat, bread, are not very high in calories. We all know that 1 gram of carbohydrate, or particularly cereals or any rice, wheat which you take, will give you only 4 kilocalories. So, the calories in the cereal and the cereal products, basically the cereal products, is coming from the food they add into the product. For example, they may add ghee, butter, cheese, jam, sugar or oil into the food, and that is where the calories are coming from. So it is the high calorie foods best avoided, not the cereals. Why? Because cereals are the main sources of carbohydrate, and carbohydrate is the main source of energy in our diet. Let us look at the next claim. It is believed that weight reduction is possible if you eat bread or chapati instead of rice. Basically, people who want to lose weight, they believe that cutting down on the rice intake will help them lose weight. Well, think about it. We have just learned that whether it is rice, wheat, they contain about the same number of calories. 1 gram provides 4 kilocalories. So, it is not the rice or wheat as such, but it is the total calorie intake that need to be reduced, whether it is coming from rice or from wheat, not the calorie from a particular food like rice itself. Let us move to the next claim. Weight reduction is possible if you cut on the sugar. Many dieters or people who want to lose weight tend to cut down on their sugar content. Well, okay, a lot of people are skipping or are not adding sugar into the tea, coffees. But what about the biscuits, the cakes or other snacks that are served with a cup of tea? They may have their tea without sugar, but when you are having it with the biscuit, cake, what is happening? 1 teaspoon sugar may provide 20 kilocalories, but the biscuits eaten along with that tea without sugar may add about 50 or 100 calories. So what is happening? We are landing up having 5 times the calories one would have got from sugar alone. So this requires a little understanding. Let us look at the misinformation about oils and fats. Well, you would have noticed that manufacturers of vegetable oils make number of claims. If you look at the television, the advertisements are full of these vegetable oils, the companies, the manufacturers making claims about their oils. These claims, they play on our fear of getting heart diseases. What is the popular claim? That a particular oil is high in polyunsaturated fatty acid and it contains no cholesterol. It is beneficial for heart patients. You recall those advertisements? Yes. But what is the fact? The fact is that vegetable oils contain no cholesterol. We have learned in our lessons so far that cholesterol is present in animal foods. So to claim that their vegetable oil contains no cholesterol is a false claim. All vegetable oils, except a few like coconut or olive oil, are high in polyunsaturated fatty acids. So just to claim that their brand does not contain cholesterol is not correct. Therefore, what is it we need to look at? These claims that make a layman feel that he can consume as much oil as he wants because a particular brand is low in cholesterol. So this intends to misguide, to think that these brands of vegetable oils are safe and maybe other vegetable oil brands may contain cholesterol. So we need to be vigilant. Now that we understand the concept, we need to look at these advertisements with a little smart thinking. Moving further, there is a claim that particular brand of oil is light. It contains low or less calories. You may recall those advertisements where they've shown certain food preparations like puris, which are all puffed, giving an impression of being light. Well, what is the fact? Do not confuse yourself with the nature of oil or fat, whether it is saturated or unsaturated fatty acid content of the oil, whether it contains cholesterol or not. Why? Because we know that whether any fat or oil, whether it is butter, ghee, vegetable oil, the 1 gram provides 9 kilocalories. So if a brand is claiming that their oil is light, contains low calories or less calories, it is a wrong claim. With our knowledge, it is clear whichever oil you take will give you 9 calories per gram. So we need to be vigilant. What about claims about other foods and food products? There are various food products in the market, and food advertisements occupy a large part of the media coverage. The main aim of manufacturer is to increase the sale, make profits. It is not to promote health. Since consumers have become health conscious, the advertisers also use this focus to project their product. So let us examine what claims are made by the manufacturers which can mislead us. Well, one claim related to complementary foods or the weaning foods is that they advertise it as doctors recommend, or they would say that their product is more nourishing for growth as well. They would not say as compared to others, but claiming that doctors recommend it and it is more nourishing food for growth. What is the fact? Well, there's nothing special in these products. Most of these complementary commercial foods sold in the market are basically cereals, to which they add some milk powder, sugar, minerals and vitamins. In fact, homemade complementary foods made from cereal, dal, curd, milk, vegetable, fruits, they can be much nutritious and cost effective as compared to the commercial baby foods available. And what is more important, we will help the child develop healthy food habits also. Therefore, this claim has to be critically analyzed. Then there are many sale gimmickries going on. Some brands of biscuits, they claim to be best for children. Well, a lot more is claimed than the product actually provides. What is the fact? Biscuits are made from refined wheat flour, what we call as maida, with the addition of fat and sugar. So they basically provide calories and not all the nutrients which are needed for growth. So many a times these biscuits are empty calories only. So to claim that they are best for children is not correct. Similarly is the case with synthetic drinks and carbonated beverages, juices, the mixed juices, the commercial juices, processed juices available in the market. These are advertised. What are they? They are just sugar, flavoring agent, color, and some preservative added. So what do they provide? All they provide is only energy. Well, a few of them may add a little of vitamin C, but nothing else. Therefore, we need to be careful about these claims in advertisements when they are talking about providing energy or being nutritious. Let us look at fallacies about choice of food. There are many foods and which one to select. Well, fallacies about food we buy, they result in spending more for a product than desirable. For example, you may have heard in relation to eggs that the desi or a vilaiti egg, which one to buy? The fallacy is that desi eggs are thought to be more nutritious than the vilaiti eggs. What are these terminologies, desi, vilaiti? These prefixes indicate actually the brand of the hen from which the egg is obtained. It does not affect the composition of the egg. Therefore, any egg would be good enough. Then, certain foods as gifts are popular. You may have seen that chocolates or expensive sweets, these are advertised particularly during festivals and other times. So one tends to mix the feeling of love and mix it with the ability to spend with our choices. For example, buying expensive box of mithai, chocolate, fancy cake, pastries would tend for the receiver to believe that we love them so much or we care so much to buy an expensive gift. Remember, high cost and high calories go together. Further, they create a special attachment to these high calorie foods in the mind of the receiver that perhaps these are the best. And the fact actually is that as compared to these which are only calorie rich, seasonal fruits can be an ideal gift for the young or for the old. They provide more nutrition. In addition to calories, they will provide the minerals, vitamins required, and they will help develop good, healthy eating habits. Next, another example is feeding too much milk to children, particularly young children under 5 years of age. You would have noticed that the caretakers, the mothers, they believe that as long as the child is drinking enough milk, he is fine. So what is happening? That if the child refuses food, the mother feeds milk. As a result, there is not any room left for any other food to be fed to the child, and as a result, the child may become malnourished and finicky eater. Milk is nutritious, but it cannot provide all the needs of the growing child. Therefore, it is always recommended that shift the child to the family food as soon as the child is 1 year of age. Give milk only as a beverage, as a snack in between the meals and not as a main meal item. Let's move further to weight gain, facts and fancies. Related to weight gain, there are many facts, lot of consciousness about weight, body build, the figure, and people are becoming very health conscious in our society today. They are willing to spend more money to look fit. There is whole new type of products and services being developed to meet this demand. Whereas the fact remains that we need to maintain a balance in energy intake and output to be healthy. So you will find many crash diets, reducing regimens promoted as quick remedies to reduce weight. Let us look at the fallacies. Obese people think that everything they eat turn to fat. They are fated to be fat, while others are lucky to be slim. Well, the fact is, everything eaten in excess of the body's expenditure turns to fat. So, what do obese people tend to do? In the process of avoiding to eat meals, they tend to nibble at high calorie snacks and take soft drinks while watching TV. In fact, they hardly spend energy for physical activity, whether it is at work or at leisure time. On the other hand, the slim people tend to eat well at each meal. They do not snack in between meals. Their activity levels are also higher. So lifestyles decide thin or fat. One is not fated to be fat or thin. So remember this aspect. Another misconception is it is dangerous for an obese heart patient to lose weight. Well, the fact is obesity puts extra burden not only on the heart but on the whole body. Therefore, weight reduction not only is desirable but is a vital need. Another misconception among obese people is to skip their meals in the hope of losing weight. So what happens? By the next meal, they are too hungry to control their food intake. So eating small and frequent meals, say 3 to 4 meals, will permit the person to exercise judgment and reduce food intake. With regards to weight management, there are so many new reducing diets, crash diets you hear or read about today, an Atkins diet, some seasonal diet. Well, these are dangerous and most of them do not result in a sustained weight loss. Now, how would you decide whether these diets are reliable? You will hear from friends, you will hear from relatives telling you that they tried this diet or the other diet. So, here are some handy points. These handy points are there for you to check. What do you need to check? Is this diet nutritionally balanced? You have learned about the daily food guide. Use that knowledge to assess whether the diet is nutritionally balanced, providing all nutrients. Is it really low in calories? Is it providing variety of well-liked foods? Because restrictions would mean that you will quickly discard it and come back to your foods which you like. Then check, does it help you to develop new eating habits? It can be followed with appropriate modifications and after you reduce weight to desirable level. So basically, any such diet you want to start should fit into your normal food budget. So these points will help you. We will end by being a little vigilant about food misinformation. When we choose manufactured food, analyze the claim made about the food product by the manufacturer. What do you analyze? What is the claim? Is it available at a reasonable price? The product you are seeing, does it agree with the knowledge gained or the facts learned? So once you have analyzed, share the evaluation of the claim made with others, particularly the youngsters in the family, because you can prevent them from being misled. So learners, it is always better to be a smart, vigilant, aware individual rather than being carried away by the claims fallacies, fads, which are so very prevalent today. Thank you for your patient hearing. We hope you enjoyed this session and will be more careful in the future. Thank you.